The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Ever felt like loneliness and isolation had taken over your life? Most of the time, if not all times, loneliness is viewed with a negative lens. But Stoicism offers a different approach, seeing lonely moments not as mere voids, but canvases for self-discovery. Stoicism teaches principles that transform loneliness and isolation from a daunting expanse into a sanctuary for personal growth and understanding. In the stillness, it offers ways to find the strength to paint your own masterpiece, where loneliness becomes a brushstroke, not the canvas. Today, I am going to talk about loneliness and 6 Stoic ways to deal with it. 1. Change your perception. Do you see isolation as a bad thing or as a potential opportunity? Let's go back in time to the times of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, who was a fervent supporter of Stoic philosophy. He was a strong proponent of the influence of our own perceptions and interpretations and lived by them. His insight informs us that our perception of a circumstance can drastically change how we experience it. Therefore, the next time you're experiencing a bout of loneliness, consider changing your viewpoint. Instead of seeing it as a drawback, see it as an opportunity for introspection, for personal development, or even to take up that long dormant hobby you've been fascinated about. Solitude does not have to feel like prison. It may serve as a haven where you can reflect, explore new aspects of yourself, and pursue your passions. It all depends on how you choose to view it. Our life is what our thoughts create it. As Marcus Aurelius famously observed, consider your solitude as a blank canvas that is just ready for you to fill with your ideas, colors, hopes, and goals. Every minute you spend by yourself may be devoted to crafting a work of art. That work of art is your life. In the end, perspective is everything in life. How you choose to view the outside world, how you choose to view your circumstances, and most crucially, how you choose to see yourself. Will you decide to view loneliness in a different way then? Are you able to be alone and not feel lonely? Before you answer, just take a moment to subscribe to our channel. It will help us share our content with many more truth-seeking people like yourself. This question is in line with the ideas of Stoic philosopher Seneca, who encouraged the building of what he called an inner fortress. Now, this is not about walling oneself off from the outside world with physical barriers. On the contrary, it focuses on fostering mental and emotional independence. See your mind as a stronghold that remains unfazed by outside events and resilient in the face of difficulty. It's about finding solace in your own company, enjoying the quiet, and reflecting on your life with it. This is an opportunity to become aware of your ideas, aspirations, anxieties, and hopes. Time spent alone is the perfect moment to assess your strengths, acknowledge your weaknesses, and make progress in your own development. Instead of viewing this time of solitude as a punishment, use it as a chance to strengthen your inner castle and develop resilience. This is an opportunity to delve into the vast landscape of your inner self and discover what genuinely makes you happy, what is most important to you. It's about discovering how to be your own confidant, best friend, and comfort zone. Finding comfort in solitude does not imply isolating oneself from society. It entails having the capacity to flourish in isolation, finding inner peace and exhibiting resilience in the face of adversity. Being your own lighthouse in the dark and anchor in the storm. 2. Practice negative visualization. Is it possible to feel better about your current circumstances by anticipating worse cases? The Stoics believed so. They practiced a method called negative visualization that, if you harness it, can help you deal with loneliness. Let's say that at this moment you feel alone and isolated. Now imagine for a moment that you are not just alone, but also without food or shelter or any necessities. Sounds awful, doesn't it? Here's the twist though. This is not an occasion to wallow in misery. Developing perspective is the key. Thinking about situations worse than your current circumstances makes you grateful for what you do have. It's a sobering reality check that makes you grateful. You could be alone, True, but you're fed and warm. Isn't that something? The goal of this practice is not to minimize your isolation or loneliness, but to see them in a wider light. Remembering that things could be worse is a great tool for building satisfaction and resilience. 3. Distinguish between what is within your control and what is not. Sometimes feelings of loneliness and isolation can be the result of uncontrollable external factors. Maybe you relocated to a different city or were placed under lockdown due to a worldwide pandemic. Some of the distress that comes with these situations can be lessened by realizing that you have no control over them. What you can control, though, is how you react. Stoics hold that we have complete control over how we respond to the obstacles in life. While you may not have chosen to be in this circumstance, it is entirely up to you how you respond to it. You have the option to focus only on the bad things, or to confront these emotions head-on and acknowledge them while resolutely refusing to let them control you. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or acting like everything is all right. It all comes down to accepting the truth of your circumstances and choosing your course of action. It's about choosing to accept that although external circumstances are beyond your control, you still have power over your thoughts and deeds. Thus, keep in mind this Stoic lesson the next time you're feeling alone or lonely. Acknowledge what you can control and what you can't, then concentrate on changing your response. Keep in mind that you cannot control everything, then embrace the power of your response. 4. Self-reflect. A key component of Stoicism, reflection is an effective tool for developing self-awareness and navigating the maze of emotions. When one experiences feelings of loneliness and being isolated, it's easy to get sucked into these emotions. But by reflecting every day, you can better comprehend these emotions and figure out how to deal with them. Now let's travel back in time to ancient Rome, where we once again meet Marcus Aurelius, a devoted Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor. His book, Meditations, is a remarkable example of reflection. It's an examination of his feelings, a conversation with himself, and a tapestry of his ideas. Instead of avoiding facing his emotions, he questioned, examined, and gained insight from them. How then can you apply this to your daily life? Consider finding a quiet time each day to explore your feelings and thoughts. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What lessons does this teach me? How can I react to this in a positive way? Understanding your emotions is more important than passing judgment on them. Similar to a mirror, reflection allows you to see yourself more clearly. It enables you to recognize your thought patterns, traverse your emotional terrain, and discover strategies for overcoming isolation and loneliness. 5. Connect with nature. When last did you feel genuinely attuned to nature? Philosophers who practice Stoicism firmly believe that everything in the cosmos is interrelated. They realize that human beings, rather than being distinct creatures, are an essential component of this enormous universe. We are woven into the fabric of existence, just as the sun rises and sets in a repetitive pattern, or the seasons change in a predictable cycle. Being in nature can bring comfort, particularly when you are feeling alone or isolated. You might get a feeling of belonging as you sit peacefully by a running river, take in the chirping of dawn birds, or feel the soft wind brushing across your face. You are not outside of this vast, magnificent cosmos. Rather, you are a part of it. Not only may nature teach you important lessons, but it also serves as a constant reminder that everything is subject to change and evolution. In this regard, knowing that your current loneliness is temporary can give you hope. 6. Remember the transience of life. Has it ever occurred to you how transient life is? Isn't that a thought-provoking question? A question the Stoics thought about all the time. The Stoic thinkers had a profound awareness of life's fleeting nature and our own impermanence. It was not a morbid interest, but a tool of perspective, a way to gracefully and calmly manage the stormy waters of life. Even in its majesty and splendor, life is a fleeting phenomena. The sun rises and sets, the tides fluctuate and the seasons shift. Our lives also fluctuate between different states, moments of happiness, sadness, peace, chaos, isolation, and companionship all pass through. They are ephemeral, transitory, and temporary. You may be wondering now how this knowledge helps in overcoming times of solitude or loneliness. The Stoics held that we might develop a sense of perspective by constantly reminding oneself of the fleeting nature of life. When you're feeling lonely, it's natural to believe that the loneliness will never end. But always remember that your moments of loneliness and isolation are fleeting, much like everything else in life. Loneliness eventually gives way to company, just as a storm finally gives way to serenity. You can bear your current situation easier if you recognize that it is only a temporary situation and not a permanent fixture. This perspective doesn't invalidate your feelings or experiences. Instead, it allows you to hold them lightly, not to be consumed by them. It helps you navigate through them with a sense of calm and composure, knowing that they are part of the ebb and flow of life. Thus, the next time you feel alone or isolated, remember life's transience. Take in a deep breath, acknowledge the weight of your existence, and keep this in mind. Everything in life is transitory, including this. It's a sliver in the vast fabric of my life, a voyage of sorts. And in the wise words of Omar Khayyam, the Persian poet, be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. Thank you for watching. This channel is committed to providing you with timeless wisdom to navigate the turbulent sea of life. Watch the next video and discover the next skill to sail like a pro.